Hey, what's up everybody? Welcome back to another video. My name is Raiko, and today I have something special for you guys. I just recently picked up a new fight stick and I wanted to do a review for you. Now, there's a couple reasons why, right? One, I just wanted another fight stick. Two, when looking up reviews for this fight stick prior to my purchase, I couldn't really find anything on YouTube. There's only like a handful of them. Three, I have never been so put off by a fight stick before. You know what I mean? Like, I like it, but some of the cons just made me want to make this video and get this information out there. The fight stick in question is this bad boy, the Madcatz Ego. What makes this fight stick so special? This is the very first fight stick that Madcatz has put out since filing for bankruptcy and being picked up by new owners. There was some controversy when this fight stick was released because it turns out this bad boy here, right? This is just a repurposed fight stick, a Chinese fight stick, I believe. They took the body for that fight stick, slapped on the Madcatz logo on it, and then sold it for like $180 US. That is unfortunate. However, right, I like the stick. It's got a very excellent build quality, but for the general consumer, right, the pros really outweigh, the cons really outweigh the pros. You know, so let me get my camera switched up, right? I'm gonna give you a detailed look on what the stick looks like, the buttons, and then what makes it so uniquely bad. You know what I mean? So let me get this switched up, and I'll see you guys in a few seconds. Alright everyone, so what we have here is the Madcatz Ego right out of the box. There was nothing interesting about how it was packaged. It was just styrofoam on each side, wrapped in plastic, a booklet, and some stickers. I just want to get to the meat and potatoes of this review. So what we have here are genuine Sanwa parts. We've got Sanwa Denshi buttons, 35mm, very nice, very responsive. I've tested it on every platform this stick works on, but I'll get to that in a second. Genuine stick, feels nice. I believe it's an octagon gate. Come across here, we have a turbo function. I've never needed to use a turbo function before, but it's there if you need it. You can switch the function of the actual stick itself to D-pad, left stick, or right stick. If you're playing fighting games, I always recommend you put it on D-pad so that your inputs are always precise. Left stick, if you want to, that's always an option. For the right stick, this is always interesting to me. I've never encountered a game where I wanted the stick to function as the right stick, but having more options is always nice. Excuse me. Over here, you've got the home button. On other consoles, this functions as the home button for Nintendo Switch, Xbox button on Xbox, PlayStation button on PlayStation. The share button functions as your select button. This is not a button here. This also does not light up. Options menu button is your start button. Your key lock this is very cool because if you press it, you no longer have the option to press these buttons. So if you're in a tournament, you will not get disqualified. Probably my favorite function here are the L3 and R3 buttons. I think it's really cool that we can have these as actual buttons and you can map them. We have a 3-meter long cable. It's very nice, very long. This is not a breakaway style cable. So what that means is if you have family members in your house, pets, or if you have children in your house, if they trip over this wire, it will not break apart. Your entire console will come with the wire. So definitely be careful of that. This button here, this is the most interesting button here, because in order for this stick to work on Xbox One or PlayStation 4, you need to connect it to, let's get this turned over, a controller. That's one of the very unfortunate things about this fight stick. You need to connect it to a controller in order to use it on an Xbox or PlayStation. When you open this in the box, you get the stick, and you also get another USB cable. We have here USB type A male to micro USB type male. You'll plug this into the Xbox or PlayStation 4 controller, then take the normal USB part and plug it into your console. And depending on the console of choice, you would then take the share button, the switch button, hold it for 2 seconds. These two LED lights will flash on and off. Once they stop flashing, then you're good to go. Now, not very good in my opinion, because this stick costs $180 US, right? And if you're going to pay that amount of money, it should be able to work out of the box, no problem. But I'll definitely get back to that in a second once I'm done showing you guys all the ins and outs. Flipping the stick back over again, you've got a little latch here. Let me just get that for you. Whoop, there you go. Alright, so here you have a space for 2 extra 35mm buttons. You also have a screwdriver to help you take off this front panel here to customize some art. It's also useful for removing this back panel here. I'll have that for you guys ready in a second. You want to remove the back panel so that you can get into the wiring and so that you can take off this ball top so that you can customize your art. So what I'm going to do for you guys now is I'm going to cut one more time, and then I'll come back once the back panel is removed, and I'll show you what's going on in there. Okay, now that all the screws have been removed, what we can do now is there's a little indent here where you want to take your fingers, dig into it, lift it up, and then voila, comes apart like nothing. Now this is cool because typically, depending on the Madcatz Fightstick, you'll have a diagram showing you which color wire goes to which button in case you want to like switch things out and like really get it customized. Here you can see the stick. In case you guys don't know, you would need a flathead screwdriver to the bottom of the stick to hold it in place so that you can remove the ball top. Removing the ball top is essential because if you want to change the artwork in the front, the ball top has to come out first. Then you would disconnect these wires here. These are pin connectors. You would disconnect them. Soundwave buttons have little push pins, little push tabs on the side. You would push them in, push the button out, and then from there you would unscrew the front panel to remove it and then place your own custom artwork. There's this little panel here that you can screw off. You cannot unscrew this with the stock screwdriver. You do need a very tiny screwdriver in order to get in here. There's nothing in here that's important. I don't know why they did this. This is just the other side of the storage component where you would keep your extra buttons and your screwdriver. I'm not entirely sure why you would need to open that, but it's here, you know, just in case. Now, if you see these wires going into the joystick here, and then the wires from the buttons going underneath this panel here, this is where the PCB is held. This is very important because this would need, just like I mentioned earlier, you need to connect a controller to get this to work on Xbox and PlayStation 4. If you can manage to get into the PCB, I would imagine that you can use the Brook Universal Fight Board to change that. Then that would make this port up here like totally obsolete. But that sucks because that's an extra $100+ that you would need to make this function like other sticks, right? That's one of the cons. You need an extra controller, and in order to fix it yourself, you have to shell out more money. But once I'm done here, once I have the camera like back in my face, I'll go into a little bit detail about that. But out of the box, this stick works with PC. All you have to do is plug it in, no problem. For Nintendo Switch, make sure your Nintendo Switch is in sleep mode and docked. If it is not docked, then you would need a USB Type A female to USB Type C male. You would then want to take this cable, plug it into your dock while the Switch is in sleep mode, hold the X and A buttons on your stick, wake up the Switch, hold the X and A button, almost cursed, excuse me. Hold the X and A buttons while your Switch is waking up for an extra 2 seconds, and then you're good to go. It's a little unfortunate that this stick works out of the box with Switch and PC, and then Xbox and PlayStation 4 were an afterthought, but I'll definitely get into detail about that in a second. But as you can see, customizing the stick isn't so bad. If you wanted to get into the PCB, there are some extra screws on the, let me see if I can find them for you on the camera. Some extra screws on the inside that you would have to get into with a different screwdriver. But if I can get you a little peek in there, there's some of the PCB right under there. And right under there as well. Not too difficult, but it is unfortunate that you would have to remove this entire back panel just to be able to fix Madcatz's issue. I'll give you guys a nice sweeping shot of that real quick. It looks nice. It's well put together. The wires are very neat. Oh, whoops. Hold on. Let me get that out of there. It's got a very nice build quality. I believe the bottom of the back panel is metal, and then the rest of this is a really nice, hard, durable plastic. I don't know how well it'll come out on film, but let me see if I can come over here. This stick is actually at an angle. So if it's on its back, if you have it set up on like a desk, it's actually very comfortable for your wrists. I've been getting back into Dragon Ball FighterZ recently, and I've been having to learn Base Vegeta's corner loops. Let me get that slant for you there. I've been having to learn Base Vegeta's corner loops, and I was here for like an hour and a half, just like getting it perfected, and my wrists were actually super comfortable. So this is actually pretty cool. It's just unfortunate that it costs way too much, and if you wanted to use it on a console, you need a controller. This isn't a stick that I would recommend for your first stick, or even your second stick. I would only really recommend this if you have extra cash laying around and you're an avid stick collector. Let me get some other shots. Look how neat these wires are. It's a shame that the wire colors are so vibrant, but the stock art is just not very great. Alright, cool. So, let me put this back together. I'll give you some of my final thoughts. And that'll be that. Alright, so, cons first. This stick is way too expensive. It is a repurposed Chinese fight stick. You need a Xbox controller to play on Xbox. You need a Sony controller to play on PlayStation 4 only. The only good thing is that if you have a Series S or X, this will work, because with the way Microsoft is handling backwards compatibility, you just take an Xbox controller, plug it into the stick, it'll work with the console. But being at $180 US, you need a controller to connect it to the consoles in 2020. And now, in early 2021, that's just absolutely unacceptable. I personally did not pay the $180 plus. I got this from Amazon at about $159.99. It was like on a sale. And with shipping and tax alone, I ended up paying the $180. If you are not an avid stick collector, and if you do not take fighting games seriously, I do not recommend you buy this stick. There are cheaper alternatives like the Hori Wrap V, I think it's called. Those sticks, the Sony versions of those sticks will work on PlayStation 4, PlayStation 3, and PC. The Xbox versions of those sticks will work on 360, Xbox One, and PC. I recommend just get those if you're looking for your first or second fight stick. However, the Ego does have a fantastic build quality. The Sanwa stick and the Sanwa buttons are genuine. It feels nice. The stick being at an angle for your wrists, it does feel really good, but I don't recommend it for people that are going to locals or to tournaments. If you are just hanging out in your house, or if you're a streamer, if you've got a nice desk setup, or if you've got fighting games on your PC, that's who I recommend buy this stick. Those people. If you are tournament players, if you're just hanging out with your friends, or if you're getting into fight sticks for the very first time, I don't recommend this stick. This stick is overpriced, and it shouldn't be your first option. I happen to fall into the niche category where I play a lot of fighting games. I have Xbox, PlayStation 4, I have a PC, I have a Switch. Most of my fighting games I play on PC anyway, unless they are Mortal Kombat X, Injustice 2, or Mortal Kombat 11. I'm playing that on Xbox. If I have the opportunity, with the pandemic and whatnot, if I have the opportunity to go back to locals and or tournaments, I have 3 other sticks, 2 of them down here below my desk and 1 over here on my bookcase. One is Xbox One solely. My Hori Wrap V, I believe it's called. I might be getting that name wrong, actually. My Hori stick is 360, Xbox One, PC. Then I have a 360 stick that also works on PC. And if need be, I actually have a 360 to Xbox One brick converter for PlayStation 4. So I'm cool. I'm all set. But not everybody is as fortunate as I am. So I recommend you just get a Hori stick. Once again, do not pick up the stick. I don't think it's worth it for the general consumer. If you're like me, if you eat, breathe, sleep, shit fucking fighting games, then definitely pick up the stick. It's really nice. The rubber feet on the bottom really do its job. I can't stop talking about the angle at which the stick sits. It's super comfortable. Because of the rubberized feet, it doesn't like shake my desk at all in any way. Installing artwork is tricky. I believe the official Madcatz website offers templates, but they are already filled in. The stick that this fight stick is based on has an empty template in a PDF style, if that's what you want. I should be able to put a picture up of the stick at least one more time so you can see what this Madcatz Ego stick is based off of. But that was my very first Fightstick review. That was my review of the Madcatz Ego Fightstick. It's not for everybody. I don't recommend it for everybody. It's a very niche amount of people, a very niche group of people that I do recommend it to. If you like this video, if you like the Fightstick review, please let me know. I wanted to get into the meat and potatoes of the review. I didn't want to waste anybody's time. I didn't want the video to be too long. I do have 3 other Fightsticks that I want to review. That is the TE2 Plus, the Super Street Fighter 4 Xbox 360 arcade stick that I've had for years now, and then my Hori stick down below down here, and I have a Kanba book bag coming in. I want to see if all 4 of these fight sticks will fit in the bag, along with one of my laptops and whatnot, so definitely stick around for that. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Share with your friends. If you enjoyed it, please let me know. Very first review. If you didn't enjoy, if you want to give me some tips on my future reviews, please let me know as well. I've got more Mortal Kombat 11 content coming out. I am trying to get back into King of Fighters. I'm trying to do some Dragon Ball content. I hope the netcode is fixed. Super Baby Vegeta is releasing later this week. I'm excited about that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. I don't want to ramble on too much. Thank you so much.